Hello, everyone, and welcome to my universe. Streaming on a Sunday, which is very unusual for me. And as such, I will have some stuff to do later, so I'll have to end the stream very abruptly in all likelihood. But I figured that I'd do some drawing before I had to go do stuff. So, let's go do the things I wanted to do. Yeah, I think before I touch up the face, I looked at the cape again and I was like, huh, I like it, but it's a little bit too high contrast. So I'm going to touch that up and then we're gonna go in and touch up the face. Face, I think, is probably like 90% there. Mostly, I just don't like the nose. I want to mess around with that a little bit. Not quite sure what to expect there. A lot of the facial features are a little bit different from what I would normally do. So I'll just try some things and see what I end up liking. But first, let's do something simple. And no, not do anything on color dodge, just normal. And we'll tone down a little bit of the contrast here. All I'm doing is taking the airbrush and going over it with the base color. So you can see I don't want to get rid of all the texture. I just thought it was just a little bit strong. So I'm just gonna very kind of gently go over that, and with the airbrush I might even do a little bit more on the shadows there. Got a button to push. Okay, there we go. So I figured that we'd do a few things there, and then get into something a little bit more difficult and interesting. I like drawing faces. It's a good time. Okay. Okay, no, I can't use the airbrush for that. A little bit around the hair lost some of its texture. How unfortunate. Let's give it back. Let's just give it back. There we go. And around the vine, too. We'll put a little bit more of a dark area around there. Okay. Yeah, that's a bit better. I didn't really mind the way it looked texture-wise. I thought it had pretty close to the right texture, but it was just drawing way too much attention to itself. So, no, we're gonna leave it like that. And you know what? Since I just did some stuff with the cape there, I think I would like to do the rest of the cape and kind of touch that up and get it to have a texture a little bit more like this. I think that'll be nice. And then we can do face, maybe. And unless I find something else to distract myself with. Always plausible. You never really know. Oh man, sorry, my throat's all phlegmy for some reason. It's like I cleared it before. Yeah, before stream started and everything seemed fine. I guess I've just been talking too much this week. Doing a little bit too much talking the past few days. I guess having longer than usual streams will do that to you. Okay, so let's get this all nice and textury. For the record, don't worry, my voice doesn't hurt or anything. I'm fine. Just let me. Who knows, maybe the rogue plant in the backyard is coming back with a vengeance. You never trust those rogue plants, that's why space is so much better. Okay. So we're gonna add a little bit of color variation through here. And then I think I also noticed that I didn't erase the edges of this very well. So I'll do that too before we get into the face. Just gonna do all little touch-ups. And there's some stuff that I'm kind of interested in trying on the upper part of the cape here to make some of those folds look deeper, but I don't know if I want to do them now or with my more global lighting that I have planned in my head. Trust me, it'll be great. So I'm gonna hold off on doing it right now. This is just going to be for texture for the time being. So I gotta keep it simple. Not gonna do that much right now. Not yet. It'll come. Someday it'll be time. But that day won't be until I finish the background. Because I decided I wanted to shade or do the big lighting with Katya and the background together, since they're pretty closely linked. It's the window, man. I want to know how the window's gonna shake out before I do too much. I already really like where this window's going, though. This is gonna be neat once I refine everything a little bit further. I just wanted to get some of the decorations on top of it before I finished it off. Okay. So let's see, how is this bottom part here? Does it need anything more? Maybe just a little bit more over here. I don't want to overdo it, but nonetheless, I don't want to underdo it either. The balance can be tricky sometimes. Okay. Yeah, there we go. I think that's good. Let's go ahead and do the top part. I wasn't entirely satisfied with that. It wasn't until I started thinking about some other stuff. I forget which piece it was exactly. It made me like, huh, you know, I think it was the mask, actually. Yeah, that sounds about right. I was like, you know, I don't think that this is actually enough texture. I don't want to shade at 200% there. Let's just do 100. And let's just make this nice and just, you know, little tiny bits of color variation in some spots to give the impression that it's really soft and velvety. I wanted a nice, thick velvet texture for this. I'm gonna need to get the light areas, but let's start with the dark areas first, and then I can worry about some of those lighter areas. I'll just dab the texture brush around and see what that gets me. I do think it's helping already, though, so that's nice. Okay, that's all light area, so I don't want to get too much... Oh shoot, I don't have the layer locked. Oh no. Oh god, I haven't colored outside the lines too hard, have I? Oh thank god. Okay, so fortunately I was doing the inside there mostly. And now I can hit my little lock button so that this way I can't color outside the lines. That could have been really bad. Okay, no, I don't want to use the super dark color there. Okay, now I'll start bringing the light areas back out. And I might just have to do a little bit of back and forth for a bit until I get what I want here. But I already think that this looks better than this side. Yeah. Yeah. It has a better texture, at least. I think this side has more clear light-dark delineation, but the other side has better texture. So let's start trying to get some of that together so that it both has good folds and a good texture. And we don't have to pick. We can get both. Just gotta give it a little bit more attention, and then all will be well. So I'll just take my time there until it's doing what I want it to do. That's kind of the nice part about impromptu streams is I can just kind of go in and work at what I want there without feeling like I need to really get stuff done, since I was able to do I was able to get a lot of what I wanted to get done yesterday. Most of this was in shadow already, so I think most of it is just gonna be dark on dark. I think that's okay, though. Oh, I had the wrong color. I thought I was painting with the light one. I was not. Okay. Yeah, I think that's pretty good for there. So now I'll just do the same thing over here until I need to switch to the light colors. But I just want to get all the big shadows done before I switch to the light colors. And unfortunately, with the way I'm doing this, with kind of mixing some of the dark color into the lighter areas, it does kind of muddy the folds a little bit, so I just need to take some time to bring them back out while keeping that nice texture. So that's just kind of the goal here. Okay. So let's see. After that, yeah, I think that's looking pretty okay. I think that's probably about all it needs. I think I will do a little bit back here, though. No, not that much. And don't I have one that I use as kind of an even darker over here? Yeah, just a little bit. So I'll use that color for some stuff. Kinda go back and forth a little bit back there as well. And there, I think it's ready for me to tackle the lighter areas too. With the lightest colors. So yeah, that's that color, and then do I have a good area to get just base red? Yeah, right there. Okay, perfect. Okay. Oops. So, now I can get these little highlighted areas. Let's see, am I going to need a darker color for it? I might, actually. Okay. Well, I'll start with these two. I've mentioned in the past that I do dislike being able to get two colors and then switch between them because I'm very lazy and I don't like having to color pick repeatedly. So I'll start with the mid-tone and the highlight there. And then I'll probably add a few more shadow bits. Just for a little bit of extra... Not contrast, I don't really intend to change the overall values that much, but just so that it has a little bit of extra room for the texture, because right now the textures are like not even visible. So let's get a slightly darker color here. Let's get this one. And we'll kind of pad that on there. And I just gotta be real careful with it because I really don't actually want to make this area darker. I just want it to be... I just want it to have that kind of velvety texture to it, which requires a little bit of a random color difference in there. Yeah, there we go. There we go. That works. Let me see. This color might be a little bit better. Just noticed that I picked one that was a little bit more desaturated than I think was going to be effective there. Okay, that should be all good. Then up here, I'll do the same. I don't know if this area needs quite so much. And then I'll just kind of feather out where the color transition actually happens out there. And there we go. And it's also occurring to me that I'm not quite happy with the back of the cape because you can see like around her shoulders and stuff on these top parts. I used the bright color, but I didn't do that down here. So I think I should. So let's go do that. Here. Ba-ba-ba. Ba-ba-ba. We'll just make this a little bit lighter, at least on the top. There we go. Yeah, I think that did the trick. Yeah, so I think that looks a little bit softer. So let's go mess around with the face. And I still do want to do some more stuff with a little bit of contrast on the cape itself, but for now I'm gonna say it is not yet time. For now. I'll see if I want to do that on the global light layer or not. I'm still not entirely sure. But what I am sure about is that I don't really know how to feel about this nose. And I also think that there's a shadow on her cheek here that looks kind of bad. So, but I think both of those will be fairly straightforward to fix. So let's go ahead and turn off so it's always funny how things look when you remove certain layers. Suddenly she's just going instead of smiling. Okay. I just wanted to see where I had the highlight on the nose. And it's this layer. We'll put that back. So first, let me kind of smooth out her cheek there. Because, I don't know, there's like a little crease there that's making her look old. And I don't like it. So I'm gonna use the blur tool to smooth that out a little bit, and then I'll take the color there and kind of push it down just a little bit more. Just fixing up the couple of things I didn't like. Overall, I do like her face, though. I'm also not quite sure how I feel about the eyebrow. It's like with as good as the hair looks, I might add just a little bit more to that. Okay, and then there's gonna be this little crease kind of around her cheek there, so I'm trying to push up the cheek a little bit. I think I don't want to put in the laugh line. I think that'll just make her look kind of old. So I'll still blend out the bottom really thoroughly. But I just wanted this lighter part to be a little bit higher up. And I think that this should also be a little bit further to the right here, or left. Left, yes. Okay. Let's see, how's that? Maybe a little bit more shadow over here on this side. Just from the hair and stuff. Okay. Still not looking quite right, so I'm just gonna keep poking until I am satisfied. Huh. What is this? There's like something weird going on there. What is that? Is there, do I have some residue on her eyes, or am I just... No, there's definitely something there. Is it a hole? It is. Okay, well that's terrifying. I'm glad I noticed. There we go. I definitely wouldn't want that to be there. Katya should be the one putting holes in other people's heads, not having a hole in hers. That's just unfortunate. Okay. Okay. think I just want the edge of the tips there to kind of fade out. I think that'll make the hair feel a little bit more transparent and make her cheek there feel less heavy, or whatever the issue that I'm having with it is. I don't always know the right words for these things. But basically, something's not something, and I can't let that stand. Okay, I guess that's fine. Okay. Let's see, how do I feel about the cheek? Maybe just a little bit too low right through here. There we go. Yeah, because I still want it to look like it's being squished upward from the corner of her mouth going up. But finding the right balance of things can be tricky. Okay, but I think that looks okay-ish. I don't know. There's still something about it that's not quite right. Is it just too bright? Do I need to tone down the brightness just a little? I could see that being the case, given that this side is largely the shadow side. Okay, let's ask Artist Senpai. What do your cheeks look like? Oh yeah, you basically don't have cheeks. You just kinda fade them out. The faces are actually still fairly flat for the most part. Okay. So in other words, maybe I'm just trying too hard. Would not be the first time. Okay. So in that case, I think what I want to do is just kinda start fading this out just a little bit here. And try to make those transitions a lot smoother. This is the joy of having another artist to reference. When you get stuck at a specific thing, you can just look, okay, what did Senpai do? And you can take a look at that and just be like, oh, well, I just overcomplicated this horribly. Alright, in that case, let's just go ahead and make things a little bit less strong. Sounds good to me. And like I said, I still kind of want to mess around the nose a little bit. It's just very triangular. And I think that's my main issue. I want it to be a little bit less triangular. Okay, no, I'm too scared to dig into the nose there too much. So I'm just gonna keep the nose I have, and then I'm going to make a new layer once I kind of have the rest of the cheek the way I want it. And I am going to see about making the nose a little bit less triangular. But for now, let's perfect what I have. We'll get that going very well. And then I can try some things to just make it a little bit better. But I don't think I'm gonna do it on the same layer there. I don't hate this nose enough to completely destroy it. I could see myself keeping this, but I want to try at least try a slightly different pattern. There's a reason I was able to leave the face for so long. It's like I didn't hate it. I didn't completely hate it, so that's a sign to me that, you know what? It's okay. I will just make a new layer and do a few experiments. And then We can see if I want to keep the new experiments or if I just want to keep what I have. I could go either. Okay. I don't mind going back and doing some stuff with the face again. I've said it before, and I firmly believe it, that if you're gonna have a picture with the face, you gotta go all out on the face. I think that's why, you know, a lot of landscape pictures that just add a human for scale always show their back. Because it's like, it's so much easier to just add that human for scale if you do not draw their face. Because faces are hard, and you gotta get them right. But if you just draw the back, then the face will not draw the viewer's attention for one. And you still get what you need to show how big something is. Yeah. It's very nice. But for me, I am in fact drawing a face here, so I gotta make sure it's really nice. I just gotta. I do think it's pretty nice, though. We're definitely getting there. And I'll probably add a little bit more shadow around her eyes and stuff later. I don't think I should do that for the pass that I'm currently at in face touching up. But you know, it'll make her look a little more sinister, and I think that's important. I do. Okay. So I think with this, that looks pretty all right. I think I can be fairly happy with this. Gonna touch up the eye a bit there, and especially with anime, the areas around the eyes you don't want to mess around with either. Okay. How are we looking? Oh yeah, that looks a lot better. And with the, like, red on her cheeks. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I like that a lot. Okay, so let's see if I can make the nose something I like a little bit better. Like I said, I'm gonna do that on a new layer, and I will probably merge it down at some point. Oh god, I just... smeared something. Give me a moment. I have my itchy nose curse. Okay. So let's see. How do I want to go about this? Let's go look at Senpai again. Because, yeah, he has fairly triangular noses there. But there's just something about it that's just not quite working for me. Like, I think something like this could look pretty good. Just she's lit from the bottom. This is where I got the idea to try the triangle. Yeah, this is kind of what Senpai does. But it's just not working for me. It's just too pointy. It's okay, Senpai doesn't have all the answers. But it's certainly enough to get me started. Okay, so if I do this kind of shape. Hello, Daffodils. Welcome back. We're just touching up the face a little bit. I decided I didn't really like the nose I drew, so I wanted to make it a little bit less pointy. So I'm trying to figure out how to go about doing that. I have ideas, though. I might not have to do too much. Okay, and then maybe just a little bit more nostril. Just a little bit. I don't think it's too thick. I think the size is about right. I just didn't like how pointy it was. With maybe just a little bit of extra shadow in the nostril area. Oh, I'm already using the darkest color. Terrifying. I just realized I had the blush on. Oh no, I don't. Okay. Cool. I thought I did for a second there. I don't know if this purple is gonna work, though. I don't know, might. Let's try it. First that happens is I just go in and erase it, so it's all good. Okay, and then I don't think her head is tilting back that much, so I'm gonna go ahead and push it down. It's true, it is hard to go wrong with more explosions. But I'm not sure if I want to add explosions to her nose. That might be painful. Just a little. Okay, I don't think I like where this is going. Yeah, I think the other version's better. So I'm gonna clear this and try again. It's true. Nose explosions are like the worst part of being sick. Very messy, very unpleasant. Let's see, how do I want to try this? Maybe if I just get this side of the nostril area to be just a little bit brighter. Maybe then it'll work out a little bit better. Senpai does do that sometimes. Okay. Well, I don't know, maybe it helped a little. And I'll just make that a little bit less triangular. No. I think it might be able to work in theory. Perhaps. But, I wasn't doing it right there. Okay. First, I'm gonna define the nostril itself a little bit better. See if that helps any. And then I want to push down the triangle just a little bit. Just push it down just a little. Okay, so far so good. I want this bottom part to be very much darker than the surroundings. So I do think that this is okay there. And maybe I want this part to be just a little bit lighter? No, I don't think so, actually. Maybe I should add a little bit of the purple. Okay. Okay, no, that's pretty good. Wait, we won't add the pit of the nostril. We'll just use the purple for the darker side of the bottom of the nose. I think I can make that work. Okay, so let's get that nostril-y, make it rounder. Something like that. Okay, seems alright. Okay, so I'll carry it over. I think that's still a little bit too much contrast. So I will pare it back, but I want to get kind of the structural shapes right before I fix all the colors. So I think the way it's going up is okay. I think this nose is the closest one I've got to being able to figure out what I want to do. It's not exactly lit from the same direction, but I think I can work out what I need to do in order to make something like that happen. So the hard part is just that it's also not at the same angle. But what I'm getting from this is that what I want, in order to make it look a little bit more accurate, is just to bring kind of my mid-tone color, which I think is somewhere around here, and bring out the tip of the nose and have it kind of tilt out that way. Maybe. I'm still not quite sure if I like it, but I will see this attempt to the end. No, it just makes her nose look crooked. Okay. So, purple on the bottom here was good. I'll go do that again. Oh no! Why do you need elbow bones? What would you possibly do with elbows? Okay. Oh, that's good. That was just a random little error that I hadn't noticed, so I might need to fix it again. That's fine. I don't think I want to go too deep into that until I know where the center of the nose is going to be. I think it's in a good spot overall, though. Ooh. That's a good way to get some carpal tunnel. Yeah, using the elbows is important. Alright, let's see. This girl has a very similar angle, and indeed, just the big triangle. She's looking down, though. She's kind of looking up, but hers is barely there. Does tell me I'm probably trying to go too hard on the nose, but man, I want there to be a nose. I want it to exist. Only sometimes do I draw the noses, but for this one, I wanted to draw the nose again. I don't know, maybe if I soften that transition just a little bit. I am painting too many random things on a layer that I might delete. I gotta stop that. Alright. Let's just focus on the nose itself for now. Okay, and then maybe if I make this corner rounded out a bit. It is rather square. Okay, that's not bad. And then this is facing upward a little, so I'll make this a little bit rounder. If my complaint is that it's too pointy, then that's a good sign I should be using rounder shapes. We'll just do little circles. Little tiny circles. And I don't want this side to be quite as dark. Okay. Maybe I just really hate that nostril. Oh, I do kind of hate that nostril, actually. Okay, cool. So if I get a shape a little bit more like this. Maybe? Gonna look weird for a second, but that's okay. I'll fix it up. I always do. And then kind of a little bit of a hard edge right through here where the bridge is being lit. And maybe we make this a little bit lighter through here. Something like that. No, I think this is working. Hello there, Hardcore Land. Welcome back. Your name amuses me every time I see it. Alas, I do not know very much about 3D modeling. See, you do use bones and some types of 2D stuff, but... Oh, thank you. Glad to hear it. Alright, how does this compare to what I had before? Okay, this is better enough at this point that I'm gonna merge, and I will just continue painting everything from here. But yeah, I like this a lot better. This is a much better nose. So this is that thing that I like about my design, is that I have a huge amount of contrast between my face and my hair, and even within my eyes, I actually have to be really careful about how I draw my eyes, because I can never let them touch the blue of my hair, because otherwise they will vibrate so hard that it'll be terrible looking. But together, in, you know, something like a profile picture, it really does make things stand out. Because literally, if you invert my hair color, you get something real close to my eye color. So I always have to be really careful with it. Okay. So it turns out the answer was forget realism, make it simpler. Yeah. You know, I should take that lesson to heart a little bit more often. Because, yeah, that fixed all the problems I had with the face here. Okay. I think I might move this highlight a little bit too. So I'll go ahead and erase that. I think there's one over here too. If there isn't, there should be. And I'll put those little highlights back when it suits me. Okay, so now I can happily kind of get some of the other details around the eyes. I don't mind putting a few more details around the eyes. Just gotta be careful with things like eye bags, like I'm doing right now. Because if you do those wrong, it's just gonna make the character look old and tired. Not quite what I'm going for. Oh, thank you. Yeah, we're just gonna get them just right. Then I'll probably go back to the nose. Nose is much better, but I think there's still some things I want to mess around with. That edge is a little bit too hard, so let's soften it up just a bit. There we go. I think I can live with that. And then I just kind of want to blend out the edge of the eye bag there. I want the transition to be very, very soft and subtle. You know, to avoid the aforementioned making her look old and tired problem. Okay. Let's see. Does she look tired? A little bit still. I think it's just a bit too dark. So let's make it just a little bit lighter here. I can get behind that. Alright, let's do it. And then I think something similar here, where it's just a little bit too dark. There we go. Alas. Which song? I'm under the impression that Yuki Kajiura is one of the people that will copyright strike people, so... yeah. So I'm not surprised that there's less stuff of hers out on YouTube. Okay. Well, fortunately, you were communicating to me via a text, so you don't have to know how to pronounce it. It's all good. Yeah. Okay. Oh, I accidentally got the hair color there. I just wanted a couple more shadows around this hair. Because I think that'll do a good job of showing a few little transitions there. And like I said, I'm keeping some of the area around here a little bit darker than I normally would to make her look a little bit more suspicious. Very important for this character, I think. Okay, so I'll just start kind of building some of these things up here. And I'm making the bridge of the nose right there just a little bit darker. Let's see, do I want anything? But yeah, I made it a little bit darker just to add that little bit of extra contrast there. Do I want something like that there? I don't think so. Well, we'll just let the nostril fade to nothing. That's fine. But yeah, it'll make the edge of her nose a little bit more visible without me having to do a bunch of work trying to make this a darker color fade into this part of her cheek. Not that dark. Somewhere around there. And then we'll just kinda start fading it out there. Oh yeah, her stuff was really good. I always thought it was a shame that she was the type to copyright strike people on YouTube. Because it does make it harder to listen to some of it. It's really nice. I'm not surprised that she got involved in so many anime scores, because she's really good. Okay, up here I think I want it just a little fuzzier. Not a lot, just a little. There we go. Possibly. I mean, naturally, I don't think she's personally going through and reporting people to YouTube. I guess the way I phrased it was maybe a bit off, but no criticism of Yuki there. None whatsoever. Just that it's a little bit harder to find her stuff on YouTube now. Okay. You know, after today, I might actually make a new thumbnail for this. Just, show what the new face looks like, because I think it's a lot better. Basically, I think copyright law is bullshit, and I'm prone to complaining about it more than I should. Okay, there we go. Let's get the bottom of this looking good, and I think I want this side to be just a little bit lighter. Go with the rest of the face there. Something like that. Blend that in a little bit, and I think I'll bring in the nostril just a little bit more there. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, it's unfortunate. Okay. So I think once I get the bottom part of the nose here looking nice, we'll be good to go. I'm not quite sure how to do it though. It's been a little while since I've drawn a nose. So I might end up poking around with it for a little bit. I think we're seeing the bottom though, so I think I had the shape backwards. I think I had it better before. Yeah, I think that's a bit better. Let's get this shape good before I start smoothing out everything else. And we'll keep the shapes nice and round, since I was complaining about triangular noses before. And I don't know, do I want to use this color instead of the purple? Yeah, I think so. I think that color looks a little bit better. Purple inside the nostril, maybe? No, I don't like it. Okay. I had to try. And I'm already telling myself that the moral of the story for this... the face here has been keep it simple, so let's try to do that. Let's try not to overcomplicate things. But nonetheless, I still want to make sure that I get the shape nice. I think I can make the nostril a little bit smaller there, and maybe... I don't know, maybe we don't put it in a nostril, maybe we simplify it even further. Honestly, yeah. I think that actually works pretty well. Maybe just a tiny hint of it right there. Okay. Yeah, that works for me. Yeah, I think that works. Let me see. Do I want to blend this out a little bit? I don't know. No, I think it looks pretty good as a harder shape. But something about the angle of it still just feels really wrong. And I don't know what it is. So let's try some stuff, I guess. Does it go this way then? Is like that better? Do I make it more triangular? It's a little better, I guess. Man, I used to draw noses all the time. And now I just don't remember how to do it. So this is exactly why I want to insist that I draw the nose today. Because not remembering how to do something is really sad, and I think it might just need to be a little bit lower too. And I want to remember how to do things. I like having the skill to do whatever I want. And it's kind of hard to do that when you don't remember what you're doing. There we go. We just fill in that gap there. I think it's almost there, though. With the significant style change, I think I need to push it a little further in the other direction now. And it's okay, I'll blend in all these colors afterward, again, you know, when the time is right. But there we go, that looks a little bit better, and then I think I want to push this part a little bit over here. Yeah, because with that slight style change, I felt like her nose wasn't quite sitting at the right spot anymore. And now I think it's better. Just gotta push the bridge around until I like it. I think I might have overdone it just a little. Let's pull it back. Her head isn't tilted that much. Alright, definitely want to make sure that her facial balance is good, so we'll be flipping the canvas a little bit until I'm happy. Okay, yeah, that looks fine. Alright. So now I think everything is in good spots. So I'll start cleaning up some of the rough edges I put in. How do I feel about the tip of the nose here? How do I feel about the tip of the nose there? You know, it's a good question. I think it needs to be just a tad higher. Make it a tad pointier too. Just for good measure. And right now it looks like she's got a silly little mustache, so I'll want to fix that, but I just wanted a little bit of a shadow from underneath the nose there. So let's fix all that now. And a little light spot going into there. We'll let the shadow from under the nose just kind of head to the left as it should. And I just want to get all those colors nice and smooth once more. Because they are not right from all the repainting I had to do. It's okay, it's normal to mess things up before you make them nice again. It's very normal. Okay, I think I can get behind that. So I'll just do the little bit of touching up, and I think we're good. Like, I don't know, how does her nose kind of start blending in with everything else? So we do have a little bit of a shadow around there. That might help. You know, when in doubt, consult senpai. When in doubt. Okay. So yeah, I'll just clean up certain parts here. Make sure that all the shadows are kind of hanging out where I want them to and whatnot. Get the shapes around the hair a little bit better. They're a little messy right now, because everything had to move around so much. That's okay. You know, hair shadows are easy enough to fix. Alright, I think that's a bit better. Let's let this part kind of cut in just a little bit to show that gap in the hair right there. And let's see. Let's see. Gonna make this tip part just a little bit darker. Want to give the nose just a little bit of presence there, so gotta just darken here just ever so slightly. Ever so slightly. I love painting faces. It's a good time. It's probably one of the hardest things to do, in my opinion, but oh man, is it fun and very satisfying once you actually finish it. Okay, so now I'm just kind of hardening up the nose edge here, just to make it clear what is nose and what is not. Then after that, I think it's about done. I never realized how ugly nostrils were until today. So yeah, you know, keep it simple, and it'll be great. Okay, let's see here. Okay, I think the edge is a little bit too hard at the top, specifically the top. I think I talked about that a little bit earlier, but right there, I kind of want it to blend just a little bit better. I don't want to completely get rid of the hard edge, I just don't want it to be quite as hard as it was. Okay, now I feel like it's just a little bit long. I guess I changed my mind on placement. It's okay, you know, such things happen all the time. Sometimes when you see something, it's just you just change your mind a little bit. Okay, yeah, I think that's good. I think her face is a little bit red. So I'm gonna redo the blushy bits. Okay. I always just like to use the hottest red possible and then just lightly go over the areas that I think... Okay, that's a little bit too pink. I always like to use something slightly pink, but yeah, I use a super, super bright red and then just lightly go over it with the airbrush, and that tends to be how I handle such things, of just getting the face, adding a little bit of warmth to it. I don't know, it's been pretty effective for me. Sometimes I'll even just go in and add a little dot. This is what I do on on my harder edge style, what would you call it? More cell shaded look. I was like, it starts with a C, but I can't remember the word. But yeah, the more cell shaded look. I'll just put a solid dot here and then blur it. And that generally gets me what I want, but here I think I want a little bit more control. Across the forehead. No, not that much. Okay. And then, you know, I just kind of go back and forth between erasing and adding until I get the effect I want. Right now, I think a lot of things are a little bit too red. So I will have to go back over it. Probably a lot, actually. But I just want to make sure that the spots that I want to have that little bit of warmth are actually red right now. And then I can just kind of go back and fade it until it looks the way I want it to. I find this way to be one of the simplest. Okay. And I might even go over this with the blur and smudge tool. Probably in this case, more smudge. Just to kind of pull things around. And put them where I think they need to go. And also just get rid of any edges that are trying to assert themselves. I can't allow that. The blush must be smooth. And let's see, on this one, I don't want the cheeks to be too red. I don't really want to get the impression of a lot of makeup. On the other side, the more dress side, I might actually make her cheeks a little bit redder. Just to give that slight impression of makeup. But no, this side isn't meant to have a lot. This is the side with the more masculine outfit, so I don't want to add too many super feminine things, because I think that the appeal of a more masculine outfit is a more masculine appearance. But you can see I didn't completely get it. She still got the eyeshadow and stuff. It's not supposed to be a gender swap or anything. So I still want her to look very much female. But a little bit less frilly and feminine, I say, with all the frills I drew. Just a little bit less. Okay, so there we go. I think that's probably good. Let's see. Okay, I need to get the forehead a little bit better. Hello there, Mr. O. And yeah, I mean, any day I get to come onto the internet and draw is a good day. I like this picture. And I even got to mess around with the face and touch up some issues that I've been having. So, definitely a good day. Better? Yeah. Okay. That's kind of the trouble with blush, is that it's red, which is, in terms of color spectrum shenanigans, is always very dark relative to pretty much any other color you could use. So I gotta make sure that the values don't get messed up too much. Like over here, I feel like it's made things a little bit too dark, so I'm gonna kind of pull it back just a little. But I think everything else looks pretty good. Let's go add all of the nice little extra highlights. I don't remember what color I used for them, so I'll pick a color from here, I guess. Just the areas that I think are the brightest. Turn off the blush so I make sure to get the absolute brightest color. And then we'll just add a tiny little highlights to the cheeks and nose. I always like this. I always just think it brings out things really nicely. I just wanted to fade in that one just a little bit there. There we go, and let's see, the shape of the nose has like a little cliff there. There we go. Alright, still not entirely satisfied with the highlight on the nose itself. I don't like its location. I don't like its shape. Okay. Yeah, there we go. That's a bit better. Okay, so there we go. Face touch-up complete, I think. So now I can get back into the background. And the first thing I wanted to handle was all the stuff that I consider quote-unquote on top. As you can see that these roses and their vines are up on top of the window here. So I want to get that in, and I see that I'm trying to make the roses wrap around something. So I might actually need to draw that first. Doing a little stretch there. So let's collapse the Katya group here so I don't have to scroll quite so much. And what was I trying to do here? Is there any lore about the painting? Well, this is fan art of a VTuber, Katya Sable. I like her lots, and I felt like doing a costume design for her. I couldn't decide if I wanted to put her in a dress or a suit, so I did both. And I like the designs of both, so I'm just gonna finish both. It's all good. And we'll just have a nice little mirror image there. Oh yeah, she's a schemer. I think that's the best way I can put it. So I was like, okay, any schemer within a fantasy world needs to be prepared to go to a masquerade ball. So I'm drawing her an outfit for that. Yes. I'm gonna hide the trees for now, and we don't care about trees right now. A schemer, yes. A person who plots. Who has all her fingers in places where they don't belong. And good luck. Like I said, I know nothing of 3D. But you can do some nice things with it. Let's see, if I have this trying to wrap around something, what are they wrapping around? Because I can see that's clearly what I was going for here. Because they definitely can't wrap around the window itself. That doesn't really make sense. So, what was I going for with this thing around the window? That's a good question. I guess I'll start trying to draw it out and see if I can find something for these plants to wrap around. Because, man, I don't remember. I've got something that almost looks like a pillar, but I don't remember what I was doing. Oh, no. Okay, so a window decor here. And then this is all just for the background itself. That's fine. Well, I don't know what I'm going for there, so I am going to completely clear the layer. Okay, and I have some kind of wallpaper design. I'm not quite sure, again, what I was going for there. I may not end up doing it, but... Oh, that's fine. I can draw something new. I don't have to know what I was going for. And I do know that I need some kind of, like, a shiny golden decoration around this, because otherwise the window blends in with the surroundings too much anyway, so... Alright, let's just start refining some of this. I'm not gonna get it totally perfect yet. I went a little bit hard on the window because it was the centerpiece for everything else. But for now, I'm gonna leave things really, really messy. And I'll figure out the stuff there. And I think it might also look nice if I have some decorations on the edge of this windowsill. Like little metal grates or something. I'll probably have something going out like doing window things over here. I think that'll also look nice. Probably carvings, actually. I think carvings might look better for the windowsill now that I think about it. Maybe a little thing out the front. I'd show you, but I'm on the wrong layer for it. Okay, so what the hell was I trying to do with that? I don't remember. Oh, it's okay. Definitely feel free to share what you're currently working on. I think it's great. It's nice to hear what people are doing. Unfortunately, death mechanics are actually pretty straightforward. You just have to walk through step by step on what should happen when someone dies. So it can sound a little daunting, but I think once you get into it, it's actually going to be pretty simple. I think it might look better without this, actually. If I just make the window maybe slightly wider. Yeah, I think that's better. Let's keep things a little simpler. Understandable. Yeah, I'm not touching any of the how to say, animations or any of the art for that matter in my game until I have just all of the mechanics in. All the mechanics must be in before I do anything like that. Okay, here, Katya's in the way again. I'm trying to get things centered. So I need to see what I'm doing. Okay, yeah, this works for me. We'll get rid of that. The wood plank texture I probably won't keep as it is. I think it's fine for a placeholder, but I don't actually really like the way it looks. I don't want to texture that until the end, though. Alright, well... Fortunately, I changed the center a little bit. I gotta find it again. Yeah. That's always how it is when you're doing something new. Okay, so I think that's the very center there. Let's find out. Let's find out if that's the very center. Looks promising. So, if it's not the very center, it's probably close enough. Okay. So, I think with that... I know I still want to do some more decorations around the edge of the window there, but I think I'm going to do a little bit with this table first. Stretch. Ah. Okay, so what do I have for the table? Oh, table is all on one layer. I guess that's fine. I think I might put the trim on a separate layer. Just so this way I can touch it up when the time comes. And for now... I need to hide the background again. Oh, are you not... I see. Okay. Just remembering how my layer structure works. Where the hell am I? Here we are. Okay. There we go. Now I should be able to see where the table is. And we'll go ahead and get this table in a... I don't know... rough but slightly better state. We're seeing this from kind of head on, so there's not going to be a lot of perspective going. I wanted to keep it real simple. I already have my trim color up there, so I'm not worried about just kind of overwriting things. It's all good. And then I guess I wanted this to be a fancy little cabinet. Checks out. I'll probably use the line tool again to get the edges of that. That's, yeah, let's just go ahead and do that right now, actually. I'll erase a little bit more. Just so that this way I have plenty of room to get that line going straight down there. How thick do I want this edge of the cabinet to be? I want there to be enough room for some fancy swirly things. Yeah. Also, if we're talking about getting overwhelmed when doing something new here, I remember when I was a baby artist, I don't think I could have ever done something like this. It would have been really hard, because I remember when I started out, I would just, draw my characters in the void, and that was fine. But after a while, I just started strongly preferring to draw scenes. I think it adds a lot to what the character can do, so, as you start getting good... Yeah, that's a good one. Maybe just a tiny, tiny, tiny bit more. But, yeah, as you start getting used to things, you will start being able to do more things. I don't think a baby artist me would have ever imagined that I'd be drawing just entire scenes like this. And then I feel like if I just make this go a little further back, just completely under here, that it'll give the impression that it's behind the window a little bit more. Let's find out if I like that, or if I want there to be a little bit of a gap. This is not lining up properly. Okay. I can make it line up properly, though. With art magic. I just gotta make the sides a little taller. Okay. Yeah, there we go. And in that case, I think I want the flat part of it to be a little bit higher up, too. And then we're gonna have a shadow from the windowsill over here. Do I have enough space for, like, the candles and stuff I wanted to put on it? Maybe... Can I get away with putting it a little bit lower like that? Okay, option 1, I put them there. Option 2, I put them on the windowsill. Okay. I prefer them there. Right now, everything looks a little wonky just because of how hard this shadow is. I want to make it clear that this is the shadow from the windowsill and not the area going back. Hehe. Yeah, I mean, I think everybody has their preference for what they like to make. And for me, for a long time, it was people, but after a while, I started wanting to put people in places, and thus I started doing backgrounds. It was just something that kind of happened. So it's not like I forced myself to do it or anything. I just was like, huh, I want to draw this, and so I did. And it was just kind of like that. So I want the area coming down to have shadows, but right now the shadows are the same color as this, so I'm considering what color I want this to be. I think it might just shake out that I want it to be about the same color as the rest of the cabinet here. So I think it might actually be okay if I draw stuff out there. I just need another darker color to act as... what's it called? The bits where you'd open it up. So some of the tighter gaps. Yeah. And just to be clear, I don't think it's a bad thing to force yourself to do things if there's a particular thing you want to do. But to an extent, I do think it comes as you get good. So, yeah, probably. I mean, I didn't go to art school or anything. I was a programmer. Ooh, that's really insufficient contrast. I'll need a light color too then. Okay, but that's fine for now. Okay. And let's see what I can do with some of this trim. Because I wanted some trim for the shelves, and I guess I can also do it for the middle here. And I like the idea of the swirly golden handles that I had going here. You can let them match the window. Yeah. You know you're rich when you can make your cabinets match your windows. I'll let him have a slight curve. I actually kind of dig the slight curve I've got going there. Okay. Is this on a different layer somehow? No, I think we're good. Okay. Alright, so now let's see if I can add where I think things are going down a bit without totally destroying everything. Okay, yeah, I can make this work. But I mean, it makes sense that in school they'd force you to do more things because they're forcing you to learn things. And when you're like me and you're just a silly hobbyist doing fun things, then, you know, you just kind of draw what you want. Okay, I think I want to make the windowsill a little bit more narrow. Gonna mess some stuff up there a little bit, but that's okay. It'll be fine. Yeah, there we go. I think that'll be good once I make it look nice. And I think I still want to pull that table out a little bit more. Which will mean something like this. Just coming on down. And I do need this to come out at this particular angle, otherwise it'll look weird. Which means that I can probably make the top just a little bit longer than everything further down, but nonetheless, I should make it just a little bit wider here. This is going to kind of help define the width, and I do think I will add some more shiny golden parts kind of going around the edge here, and on the part that kind of turns downward. I think that'll look nice once the time comes. I kind of lost my train of thought in talking about kind of expanding what you can do. But I do think it comes with time. It just after a while, there's something that you want to do, and it'll be a little painful at first. I think you're actually kind of experiencing the start of it now, in that you're overwhelmed by doing death animations, but you still kind of want to make, or not just death animations, but also programming it into games, but you want to make the game. So you're kind of expanding what you can do that way, if that makes sense. So that's why I say, I mean, even if you're just a hobbyist, I do think it comes with time, because eventually there'll just be something that you want to do that you can't right now. And so you gotta figure it out. And as long as you don't just completely run away from it, eventually you'll figure out how to do it. And it'll gradually become easy. It does take time, though. The beginning always sucks. Being a beginner just sucks in general. Okay. Let's see, I'm gonna get my line tool again and use that to kind of smooth things out here. There we go. Yeah, I think that's kind of the style of table I want. I think that it's very rough right now, but I can make it swirly and pretty at some point. But structurally, I think this is sound, and I do feel like the candle is sitting on it just fine. I'm just like, do I want this to be solid, or do I want it to be like glass with some stuff inside? Literally, that sounds like work, because then I'd have to draw what's inside, so I think I'm just gonna leave it solid and just add some extra fancy wood carvings in there. Yeah, that sounds better. So, okay, I'll add, like, this to be a highlight color, because I picture it kind of curving outward, if that makes sense. And I'll fade that out properly at some point. I don't like my division of shelves right now. Okay, we're just gonna clear out everything here. Let's get those shelves to be a little bit more even in terms of width here. I should just draw this with line tool. So I don't think we see the entire thing. I think some of it is gonna be sitting further down in the ground here. And I want it to kind of curve. Yeah, something like that. Well, let's make this straighter too while I'm at it. No, not the oval tool, the line tool. I think I want it to be just a little bit thinner. And we'll go from there. So down like this. A little further. Okay, there we go. And then the next shelf will just be here. And I'll just leave the impression that things go a little bit further down, and then we'll have... I'll do the handles on another layer. And they will be big and swirly, like that. There we go. And then, you know, I can make it fancy or something. Yep. Good luck. Hey, making a game is hard work. Even if it's a relatively simple one, it's still a lot of work. Like, a lot. Especially when you're doing it all yourself. So, you know, just keep it up. You'll get through it eventually. It'll probably take a long time, but that's okay. Having things take a long time is not the end of the world. I still feel like this is pointing downward a little bit too much. There we go. That's a bit better. Okay. So I think I'm just going to do something like that for the shelf. And we'll make it fancy. And I'm not going to make it fancy until Katya's on screen, because you can see she covers up most of it. But I just wanted to give the impression that there was a table or something there. And when I render it, I'm going to hide her cape, because you can see that the cape on this side is translucent. So I need to make sure that for when I mirror it over to this side so I don't have to redraw a bunch of stuff, that her cape doesn't cover things. And speaking of which, I think her skirt will be covering a lot of things that are not covered on this side, so I'll probably hide that too. But when it comes to some other things, like, say, her arm, and this arm, and most of her upper body and whatnot, those will line up pretty much one-to-one, so that I can keep. So I think as long as I hide the cape and the skirt, when I go to render this, all will be well, and I'll be able to just steal everything I did on this side, mirror it over to here, and it'll look great. And I won't have to redraw everything. I can just use the exact same background. I do want these to be mirror images of each other, so the closer to symmetrical certain parts are, the better. In fact, I do plan to mirror just this entire body over to this side. In fact, that's why I did this side first. Initially, I was going to do the dress first. But then I realized, this side has legs. So once I mirror it over here, I'll be able to draw the dress a little bit more accurately because I will know where her legs are. So I did this side first. And yeah, I think there will be a lot of things that I can keep once I mirror it over. So that'll be nice. Okay. But for now, you know what I think I want to do for the colors there, Katya? You're still in the way right now. I think what I actually will end up doing instead is I see that I actually had the bright highlight color up here. And so that means that I can use this mid-tone for most things here. And then I can use the darker color for some of those parts that go back, so this way I can make it look a little more curved. Yeah. And of course, even more once it comes time to add like cast shadows and stuff from Katya. Okay, so now I want to figure out how I want to do these candles. And that was actually why I turned Katya back on. Because I want to know where they should be sitting. We're going to make her a little transparent. This way I know where she is. So we're going to have Ghost Katya for a little bit. And I'm going to figure out where I want to put the candles so that this way we can at least kind of see them. I don't know, do I want it to be candles? I'm also considering putting some other decoration there. Plants. One of those weird eggs that are like covered in diamonds or whatever. I forget what they're called. No, I think candles are good. It's gonna be kind of hard to center this on the table, though, while also having it be visible with a lady standing there. Okay, so let's see. Where is the layer? Right here. Because I think if I did it like this and let the arms kind of extend outward, it may not be immediately clear what it is. Even if I had a couple of other ones sticking out here like I did before. Yeah, I don't think that idea works very well. Let's see. But I want something to be there. Just what? What goes on a rich guy's shelf? Let's go look at mansions. You know, if you don't know what to do, when in doubt, just go look at references and it'll work out. So let's see. Let's see. Where's my references? Here we are. Okay. So let's look for Fancy Mansion. Fancy Mansion interior. Okay. So what do you put on just your random tables that you just happen to put behind a window because you gotta be fancy and have as much random furniture as possible? My god, that's a gorgeous chandelier. Okay. Okay. You know, a lot of these places actually have, like, floor-length windows. Which I think is nice, but not quite what I'm picturing for here. I want it to be a little bit more old-timey, and their windows were a bit smaller, from what I remember of the period. They had to care more about structural integrity, and windows are pretty bad for that, actually. Maybe I'll save that for later then. Okay. In that case, we'll bring Katya back up to her full opacity, and I'll go back to trying to figure out what the heck I wanted to do with this thing around the window. So I'm not actually quite sure. Like, I can see what I drew initially over here, since what was over here was just a mirror image of what I was drawing over here. I wanted something for the plants to wrap around. Because that much is really clear. I can see it very clearly with how I drew it. That they were wrapping around something. Let's see. Let me find the layer again, and I'll just start doodling. When in doubt, scribble. Okay, so I'll draw a little thin line going around here. I had that before, and I thought it looked nice. And someday I'll make it look nice, but that's fine. It doesn't have to look nice yet. Let's see. And then we do some swirly things. Yeah, maybe something like that. We'll go over here. We'll have another little swirly over there. And I guess I'll let whatever this thing is supposed to be, like, go to the floor. Yeah, works for me. I'll let it go over the table for the time being. And eventually I'll get that straighter. It'll be fine. Okay, and then we'll have some swirly stuff going around here, and we'll just let it go all the way down. And you know what? I think that's good. So I'll leave it there. Now plants. So here I think I'm gonna do vines. And here I think I'm gonna do roses. I'm gonna separate them. I think it's fine that I didn't on the first pass. I have all the colors on the other side, so I'm not concerned. I'm just gonna go ahead and clear everything. And we're gonna let these plants just kind of wrap around this window. And maybe that's what I'll put on the desk there. We'll let some of the vines kind of wrap around there. I'm trying to be a little bit neater than I was when I was doing my initial scribble. Not a lot neater, but a little bit. I kind of need to know what everything is at this point, so that this way I can start getting things into their final state. I don't appear to have any shadows on this yet, so let's find a nice shadow color. So this way I can at least start understanding how things are overlapping. A little darker. Yeah, there we go. That's good. Okay, so I got a couple of leaves going over here. Maybe I'll add a slight hint of vine continuing over here. And it will definitely be thorny. Must be thorny. Very important. Okay, and then we'll let it kind of come out onto the window. Okay. No, that was just something not drawn properly. It's fine. Okay. And we'll let this part go behind. And I don't mind if it covers the window a little bit. I think that's perhaps a little preferable, actually. And let's see, I think I actually want this guy to extend a little further out and cover all of these things so that this way I can kind of send it back out here with a nice, lovely curve. And I'm not going to be able to fully draw this until I have, you know, the gold part drawn too. But there we go. I think that kind of shows what I'm going for here, and it even shows that this thing is, like, has gaps. I think that looks pretty cool. And then it'll come out over here, and we'll just let it keep wrapping around. I'll just draw both sides. I'm gonna clear them as I go, just so I don't lose track of which part is supposed to be going in front and which part is supposed to be going behind. So, like, this part is going in front until about there. So now I want to erase some stuff to make it clear that it's going behind. And I think it's fine that I'm really messy about it, at least for now. Okay. I'm not sure if I like this green, but I'll use it for now. Okay, and that's going to be where the top flower goes. This one's in front, so this part will be behind. And we'll have something like that, and I will put some leaves on. And then I'll look up what creeping rose vines like this actually look like, so that this way I can draw some accurate, get some accurate colors and maybe draw some accurate thorns. I guess I shouldn't draw any more leaves until I'm comfortable with that. So I'll leave it there for now. So let's get the color that I used for the roses here, but that is going to make me have to scroll all the way down here and turn off some of my effect layers. There we go. Okay, so now I can decide where the flowers are gonna go. I will draw each and every individual rose a little bit later. We'll make Katya a little translucent again so that this way I can kind of find the center and put a big flower there. Somewhere around here. It looks like both sides will firmly cover that spot, but I'm glad that I did that so that this way I know that and that I don't have to care. It's nice knowing when you don't have to care. Put a few buds here and there too. And I want to make sure that the flowers always show up on the front sides. I don't want the red next to red there. And a big one in the middle right here. Yeah. I don't want it to cover up that because I think it's pretty. Gonna mix up the sizes just a little bit, put some little guys here and there, and some bigger ones, and some medium-sized ones. And yeah, we'll have something like that. I think that's a nice little frame for her. Am I ready to just go and draw a bunch of roses? Yes, I think so. So I'm gonna go find a rose bush reference. So let's see. Let's see. Roses, climbing, vents. Perfect. So let's see what these things actually look like. It looks like they're a little bit more bushy than what I drew, but we'll just pretend like this is a bonsai rose bush or something, and they just trimmed it to be like this. That sounds like something rich people would hire someone to do. Wow, they are extremely leafy. I figured there'd only be a few leaves here and there, but my goodness, they are just like all leaf. Wild. I am learning so much about plants today. Okay. Well, we'll make it super leafy then. Alright, I can do that. In that case, I want a separate layer for the leaves. And I will go ahead and erase leaves here. Glad I didn't draw too many before looking up the reference. It occurred to me that as I started drawing more leaves, it's like, you know, maybe I should actually know what I'm trying to draw before I do that. And they have a pretty dark brown stems. I'm not sure if I like that. I'll go ahead and go with the slightly more realistic option here for now, but I might change that color a bit later. Alright, let's draw some fancy leaves. 'Cause, my goodness, they are everywhere. So we'll just cover this thing in tons and tons of leaves. I could probably even draw more flowers if I want, but I think that's plenty of flowers. We're gonna get into the frill hell situation where I just ask myself, why the hell did I draw so much stuff? I already see that coming. Hello there, Inera, and thank you. I've been working quite hard on it. Gotta draw some flowers now. I like drawing flowers, actually. I always draw too many, so I'm trying to show some restraint this time. Oh, I got rid of my shadow color there, didn't I? Is this it? It is. Wonderful. Let's make sure I don't totally lose that. Okay, so I got some down, so now I'm just gonna blob on where I think some leaves should be, which I guess is everywhere. I'm not too worried about getting all the colors right now, as long as they are separated by which areas that I think are in front versus in back. And we'll see how this works out. Yeah, I think this is working. Even with the just tons and tons of leaves. Okay, I'll separate them just a little, so this way I kind of know what I was trying to do. Okay, and then we have this vine going over here, so I'll put some leaves over there. This is gonna be hell to fix up, but you know what? I do think it looks nice, so I think it's fine. You can't run away from making the stuff look nice. I guess I could, but then, you know, that'd be sad. I don't like to wuss out. Wussing out is the worst. So, get ready to settle in for just rendering leaves for a whole stream next week, I guess. I'll do the roses first, because they're on top. Yeah, I should probably put a few leaves on top of a couple of roses, though. But I think I'll do that once I have all of this kind of figured out. Right now, it's a little bit of a mess. maybe a little bit more than a kind of a mess. It's okay, everything starts out as kind of a mess, at best. And then I wanted to give a hint of some potted plants out on the side there, and I still like that idea. So we'll draw a few leaves coming over here. Just some nice greenery. I might add a flower over there too. Okay. I don't like these leaves. I do want them there, I just don't like what I drew. Okay. No, from facing downward. There we go. That'll make like whatever is, wherever these leaves are coming from, it's somewhere over here. Okay. Yeah, I think I can get behind that, and I don't think I'll add any foreground to this one. Normally I would, to make her look more like she's part of the scene, but half the point of this is to go look at the pretty fashion, go look at her pretty outfit, so I don't really want the outfit to be covered up. So I'll make an exception for this one. Alright, let's see here. Let's go ahead and put the background back on. Just so that this way I can kind of get a feel for how everything will actually look. Yeah, and then at some point we'll have trees there, and I'm not going to use Krita's leaf brush for that. I think they're great for placeholders. I think they have their place even for non-placeholders. But no, it's not working for me here, so I'll redraw that. Do I even like the plants at the bottom? I mean, I like the idea of a sign of some potted plants and stuff down there, but no, I think I just want to keep it simple. I don't think I like them. Yeah, let's keep all the focus up here. So we'll have some extra colors there, and everything down there will just be brown, and it's fine. Do I think it's too heavy? Having a lot of dark colors at the bottom can make things kind of heavy. But honestly, I think I want the atmosphere to be a little bit heavy here. She should look very ominous and sinister. I do worry about things getting a little bit too dark, though, but I think I can cross that bridge once I do some of my final lighting. And I can adjust the colors however I want then. Let's see. Do I like the location of the trees here? I think I want a little bit more light by her face, so I think it's just this one that I want to move. It's okay, I want to figure this stuff out now, so that this way, when it comes time to render everything, it's just easy, and I don't have to think about it anymore. I say I want a little bit more light around her face, but then I have all of this decorative stuff there. Do I raise the window then? I don't think so. Maybe a little. Okay, let's try it. Let's see how it looks if I just move things up a little bit. Oh god. I will do it with the arrow keys, even though it's a little slower. Yeah, I totally do. Okay. No, that's nice, actually. But what I think is not quite right. I don't want to raise the table with it. I like where the table is, and then after I raise the window a bit, I think what I'm gonna do is make it a little bit longer. Okay, so I'm going to take this windowsill here, and I'm just going to move it down, which means I will have to move the plants down. You can see this is why I'm trying to figure things out compositionally before I get too deep into rendering. Because, yeah, I just had to fix something pretty big here. Alright. So we're gonna cut this part, and I'm just gonna take these 2 layers and move them down. So this way they rest on the table, or on the windowsill again. And then I'll just redraw everything in the gap there. So let's see, how is the vine gonna work there? Oh, I didn't move the vine. The vine, I might actually just be able to... do that with. Yeah, I think that's okay. Some of these things I'm a little more careful with, but here, no, I think that's fine. So let's see, roses. We'll put a big rose right here. Maybe a little guy here, and I think that's good. And then we'll leaf it up again. Okay. So now you can see things are a little more specific than what I had on this side. And I think that compositionally, this is all pretty good. I think it'll look great once I add the true lighting. Because, I mean, ooh, I can still give my little preview again. It's just like, look how good that's gonna look once that shadow is actually accurate. I'm just like, I want to do it. I want to do it so much. But it is not yet time. I want the background to be in kind of a finished state here. So let's see, do I like where the window is now? I was gonna say, do I want it to be a little bit longer, but I realized I didn't actually update the lit part. Where is it? There it is. Okay. Let's make it just a little bit longer. So I'll lower the table a little bit more again. I think I want to keep a small hint of a little bit more shelf there, so we'll squish it just a little. I think I want it just a little bit shorter. Do I want this to be a waist-high table, actually? Because right now, I mean, Katya is tall, but she's only like a little more than 6 feet tall, if I recall. So this would be a really small table. I have to think about that just proportionally. Composition is one thing, but proportions are another. And this does not even reach her waist, even at the... Oops, I hit the wrong button. Even at the height I had it before. I mean, small end tables like this do exist. Yeah, but no, I think it's fine. We'll make it just a little bit shorter. I want it to be above her knees, though. So I think this is about as short as I'd want to make it, ever. Let's find the window again, and I'm gonna... I should use the rectangles to keep things a little more symmetrical. And we'll just push it down a little. Make it just slightly larger, and then I'll fill in the gaps. Where's the window? There it is. Trees are a placeholder, so I don't really care that they got a little messed up. Okay. So now I have that filled in, and I do like that slightly better. Okay, Yeah, I think this is going to be good for the final state of things here. I think it frames her very nicely. And I think that she's pretty visible, and it'll only be more so once I add the lighting. Probably don't even have to, strictly speaking. I could probably just do a little bit of other global stuff, but you know, it's great. I think that this will look very nice when the time comes. Might need to move this bar down a little bit though to get the window divided properly. I'm pretty sure I did that on a separate layer though. Just because I was afraid of everything in regards to the window. Oh, I didn't actually. I merged it. Okay, well that's fine. I'll try to get as close to the edge as possible. Okay, that should be fine. And then over to here. This is gonna be fun to fix up. And I don't mean it sarcastically at all. Actually, you know what? One of my initial conceptions had this divided into thirds instead of halves. I wonder if that would look good now that I've made the window a little bit bigger. Okay. So if I had that up there, and then I just... I want to keep my rectangle, though. Move it up just a little bit. Paste. Put this one probably right about here. Let's get rid of the trees for now, just so I can see what I'm doing a little bit better. Oops. Okay, the top one needs to be just a little bit higher. Things are getting a little bit messed up, but you know, it's okay. It's always okay. There. I don't like how this overlaps with the elbow right now. Right there is good. You know, I really should just cut this out into another layer. Let's stop being lazy and do that. This way I can move it around freely without having to do this every time. Oh, I'm still derping around with it. So we'll move that to another layer. There we go. And then I'll see if I can get it in a spot that doesn't drive me mad with tangents. I think right there is good. That would make this upper part just a little bit smaller than the lower part though, so it does have to be a bit lower, which would mean it needs to be about there. Can I make the numbers work? I think right there doesn't look awful with the elbow. I want it like a click higher though. Okay, I think that's fine. Let's go turn the plants back on. Okay. Yeah, I think that this will work. I think I want to sit on this for a little while though. So I will go ahead and stop right here. And if I still like this composition next week, on Saturday, my normal art stream day, then I will start rendering that, and we'll draw some roses, we'll draw some leaves, and then I can get into everything else. And slowly, we'll start building up all the background elements like I did Katya herself here. So... hopefully, we can get through that in a little while. It helps that it's all symmetrical, so I only have to draw half of it. But I think I like this. So I'll see how I like it, and I'll go from there. But for now, I think I will stop here. So, thank you all for coming, and I hope you're able to make something wonderful today. I will hopefully see you all on Thursday for more programming stream. Gonna try to finally finish my math this week. I think I'm close. So I hope to see you there. Go make something nice.